Welcome to this Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special Breakdown, Easter Eggs and Review. This is the second of our special presentations from Marvel Studios, the first being the superb Werewolf by Night, which I adored. These special presentations are, in my opinion, the perfect length and making you want more from these. It was a good length of time to check in with our favourite MCU characters in between their movies without having a whole series. And while it was a simple and short affair, it was a fun jaunt reminding us just why we love this dysfunctional found family. The Christmas lights around the Marvel Studios was a neat little touch, and Werewolf by Night also did a wicked take on the legendary Marvel Studios logo. We briefly see some Christmas-style comics, including X-Men Holiday Special number 1 from 2018, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur Volume 1 37, as well as Christmas is Strange, and we also saw The Thing and Hulk wearing Santa hats. We open with a 70s or 80s style animation akin to many a Christmas special of that time, with this reminding me the most of possibly the He-Man Christmas special, as we see Yondu's ship, the Elector. Of course, Peter was taken by Yondu in 1988 to be given to his father Ego as part of the experiments, but as we know, Yondu realised what this guy was doing and kept him safe. Peter tried to share some of his Earth customs, such as Christmas, with Kraglin, and Yondu is in his typical prickly fashion and said it's stupid, and to stop this, Yondu had to be shown as a badass, uncaring person to keep control of the absolute crazy ravages that he led. As such, Kraglin only knew he ruined Christmas for Peter. He didn't know that Yondu in secret gave Peter his blasters as a Christmas present. Yondu tells Kraglin he is to clean the toilets, which Kraglin protests, saying it is Gef's favourite job. We saw Gef in the Guardians movies, and he initially sided with Taserface. What a stupid name. As Kraglin didn't know the full story, he tells the rest of the Guardians. Mantis takes it upon herself to try and bring the Christmas spirit back for Peter, as he's down in the dumps since Gamora died, and then her variant disappeared. We finally get Cosmo the dog front and centre, an absolute fan favourite from the comics, and was also brilliant in the recent Guardians of the Galaxy game, which is on sale at the moment, and you really should check that out. I'm not having an ad or anything for it, I just think it's a really good game. You may recognise the voice of Cosmo as Maria Bakalova, who starred in Borat 2 and most recently in the fantastic Bodies, Bodies, Bodies and the serviceable The Bubble. The character was in the Collector's Museum, but broke out after the Power Stone explosion in Guardians 1. The dog in the comics was part of the Soviet space program, but ended up adrift and found nowhere. The dog became the chief security of Nowhere and let the Guardians use Nowhere as their base. Nowhere, being the base of the Guardians, is set up for permanence here, as it's revealed they bought Nowhere off of the Collector. As we know, the Tivian mining group was on the Severed Head base, and, well, yeah, it must have been expensive, as the Guardians must have made bank after Endgame to buy it. But we did see the Collector flying around in Loki episode 6, so maybe he gave them a Black Friday deal as he had to dip. As well as this, Groot looks absolutely jacked. Tree puberty has done well for him. We see a band trying to sing a song about Christmas, and these characters are played by the band The Old 97s. Their second or third hand knowledge of Christmas and singing a song about it remind me of Jack Skellington telling Halloween Town about Christmas and Sandy Claus. Mantis and Drax decide to try and kidnap Kevin Bacon for Peter. As we know, Peter is a massive fan of Kevin Bacon and the movie Footloose. He calls Gamora Footloose in Guardians 1, which she says they're just like Kevin Bacon later on in the movie. During Infinity War, Gamora asks if Kevin Bacon is a mighty hero to Thor when he says he fought with Earth's mightiest heroes, the Avengers. Now later, Parker that is, says, like in Footloose after Peter Quill says about his dance-off. This is why later Mantis and Drax think that Kevin Bacon was indeed a legendary hero and not just an actor who they hilariously despise. Mantis not only wants to help Peter get the magic of Christmas back, but is revealed she is his sister. Personally, this never came as a surprise to me, as it seemed kind of obvious considering how many kids your boy Ego sired, and that she was always with Ego. It's significant for Peter as both his biological mother and father are dead, as well as his adoptive daddy. This leads them to Earth using the cool honeycomb thing, and I was hoping for some neat Easter eggs like in Volume 2 where we saw the Watchers, but we see Kevin Bacon getting ready for Christmas listening to Dead by Xmas by Hanoi Rocks, a legendary band, and this playlist is top notch as we see Mantis and Drax walk around the Walk of Fame to This Is Christmas by the Wombats. I'm interested in James Gunn's fandom of 2000s British indie, as he used Whistle for the Choir by the Fratellis in the Suicide Squad. But they end up making some cash as people think they are celeb impersonators. We see a Jack Sparrow, a Zorro, an Ant-Man, a Captain America, a Captain Marvel, a Black Widow, and a GoBot. The public seem unaware of Drax and Mantis, as one, the public looked scared of them on Earth, and two, Drax was called God of War by a tourist thinking he's Kratos, which is pretty funny. But at Avengers Con, we saw Drax and Peter Quill's book. I'm not sure what's going on there. We also see Kingo's movie poster for Haxan 3, which is a horror movie sequel which was featured in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in a deleted scene. We also have him have Kingo's Christmas as well, so it looks like after Eternals he went right back to being a movie star, or is this before? I'm not too sure of the timings. Eventually they head to a bar with a funny cameo from Flula Borg, who played Javelin in the Suicide Squad, of course directed by James Gunn. The bar's name is Yarvo's, possibly a reference to the name of the director of the Inferno music video used to promote Guardians 2, which featured the legend David Hasselhoff. Eventually they grab Kevin Bacon using a map of the stars' homes, which featured John Cena and Margot Robbie, who also featured in the Suicide Squad. He's just chilling at home watching Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, and his house number is 1988, the same year that Peter was taken. We get a funny scene to the tune of Fountains of Wayne's I Want an Alien for Christmas. They are more than just Stacy's mum, as Mantis uses the tried and tested sleep technique she used on Ego and Thanos. One of the officers was named Fitzgibbon, the same name as another police officer killed in Ego's expansion. However, they managed to escape with him, and he reveals he's actually an actor, to the disgust of Drax and Mantis, and Kevin attempts to act trying to become Batman or Bruce Wayne. And funnily enough, we got a Superman mention in Eternals, so worlds are colliding. Maybe in Secret Wars we will get that DC versus Marvel battle. Yeah, no, we're not going to, but it'd be cool though. Peter is finally presented his present of Kevin, to which he was aghast as he says, this is kidnapping. Crackling is tasked with taking him back, as he's wearing Yondu's fin, which he got at the end of Volume 2, and he says how Peter was inspired to save the galaxy by Kevin's movie, especially that movie about dancing which Peter used to save the galaxy. This urges Kevin to come back, and inspired by the message of Christmas, he sings Rhett Miller's Here It Is Christmas Time, the guy who's in the band. Yeah, interesting how much it featured. But Peter gives Groot a Game Boy. We last saw the petulant Groot playing Arcade Defender. His mind is going to melt when he plays Link's Awakening. Nebula gives Rocket Bucky's arm. He knows what he wanted it after seeing his vibranium arm in action in Wakanda. And we last saw the arm in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I wonder if she was able to remove it like the Dora Milaje did. But Groot gives everyone dioramas which recount the events of this whole special, and we see how Peter got his blasters from Yondu, who was really a big softie, and we see the fireworks launched at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to remember Yondu. A nice little touch there. But Peter is told by Mantis that they are half siblings, which is big. I expect that to be used heavily in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, And overall, I had fun with this adventure. It's not going to break the mold. It's not like the biggest MCU thing in the world. Just a nice little treat. A little kind of in between Volume 2 and, of course, Volume 3. There was a bit too much music and singing in it, but I guess it's a Christmas special, so you're going to have music. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like if you enjoyed it. Do subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.